Hi, this is Yamil, and in this video, I want to talk about healing even when you are living with your ex in the same house. So, before I get started, thank you for liking the video on your way in, and remember to subscribe to get alerted when I have new videos posted. So, today I had a conversation with a client about, how. Basically she was telling me how her and her ex, there were all these things going on, and they were fighting, and they had a huge fight, and then now they're like, it's been 4 days, and they're kind of, he's sleeping in the corner of the bed, and and so the environment is very charged negative with negative energy. So we were talking about, okay, so explain to her something that we need to understand, that we have different soulmates through our lifetime, but one type of soulmate is the karmic soulmate. That soulmate is in our life to teach us a lesson, and most likely won't be in our life the whole time. It would just be a certain period of time. And she did say she wasn't sure if he's the one or not, and blah blah blah. So but I started to work through her to understand certain concepts, that even if he's not the right person, will help her speed up the learning process from this relationship, so that it can either transcend into a real, into what it should be, a good relationship, or it can, transit our life when we learned our lesson, and we don't have to repeat that lesson. So these are some of the advice that I gave her. And if you would like, a consultation, and perhaps work together through, through with you, my email will be in the description box. And you can also go to our Facebook page, and also I'm also on Instagram. So one of the homework that I gave her, one of the things that I asked her to do, was to write on her journal every day at least 3 pages. Okay. And what does that do? And I told her to just write everything, whatever you feel, go through your feelings, this and if you need to, if you feel that you cannot communicate with him certain feelings that you have, write it to him, dear John, dear, whatever, John Doe, good morning. I woke up and you had already left, and I feel this way, blah, blah, go through all your feelings, and just don't analyze them, just dump it on a piece of paper. And do that until you have like 3 pages long. And then next day, do the same thing. And as you do this exercise, it's going to help you to learn to communicate um, fully without judgment. Okay, because many times we don't communicate what everything that we want to say, because we're so afraid of how we're going to communicate the message to the person, and maybe create chaos, versus fixing and healing and trying to figure that out. Another thing, advice that I gave her, was to, you know get into more into your female energy versus the male energy. And I went deep into it, I won't do that here, but basically, when you are into your female energy, female energy, we all have both. But when we are in our female energy, we're the nurturers, we are the caring, we are the step back, let the men lead kind of energy. When we are in a male energy, we want to fix things. I want to know, I want this fixed, I don't want you to do this anymore. And we're accusing, and fighting, and distrusting, and competitive, and that sort of thing. That's the male energy in us. So when we have a lot of, we live in a tough environment, right? You want to, as a woman, you want to try to be more in your powerful female energy. That doesn't mean you're going to be doing his laundry, and and washing his dishes, and being his maid. That's not what it means at all. It means you embody this energy of silence, almost, but in a joyful way. Not in a, I'm gonna punish you, I ain't gonna talk to you no more type of type of, energy. You want to be more into the, okay, I'm here, I'm keeping to myself, right? So, and number three, I told her definitely that she needed to stop focusing on what he is doing, but focusing on herself. And we talked about this several times. Several times she would interrupt you to tell me something he did. I'm like, turn it around. Again, you're focusing on him, you're focusing on what he did. And this is probably the hardest thing for all of us that have gone through a breakup, and some kind of painful situation, is that we are so focused in the situation that we are putting all our energy out towards that person. And and he did this and she did that and he did that, and she, instead of saying, okay, let me take a deep breath, how can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? How is this situation going to leave me in a better position, towards my future? How, in, and she mentioned something that he said about something about her appearance, and I said, okay, taking away that, that it was probably for his own purposes, right? He said it to maybe make her feel bad or whatever. So she started feeling a certain way about herself. Take that away. Strip that. Strip the messenger. Just take the message. Because sometimes the universe, God, spirit will send us messengers to our life. Perhaps not the best one. Perhaps we don't want to hear from that person. But many times the message does belong to you. Maybe something that you can definitely use to learn to become a better person, or to help you with your goals. So I told her, okay, so based on what he said, if you were to act on it, regardless of how that made you feel, but if you were to act on it, could that potentially increase your business opportunities? Could that potentially increase how people treat you? Could that potentially help you with your higher purpose? And that's the hard part, taking away, stripping where the message came from, and then taking what we need to take, because it's meant for us to listen to and to grow. You know, we are here to grow, we're here to learn to become a better person. How do we do that? Sometimes comes from people that are there to teach us a lesson. It is what it is. That's how it works. If God could just come down, call me on the cell phone and tell me, hey, Jamil, you know what you did to your daughter the other day? Bad move. Fix it. But no, the message came through her pain, through her telling me, Mom, this hurt me. I didn't like this, blah, blah, blah. And then, okay, let's sit down. Let's figure it out. I'm sorry if I hurt you. It was not my intention. This is my frustration. What can we do? And this, and she thought my expectations were up here. I'm like, well, let me clarify that. Actually, my expectations are here. Do you think you can meet them? Oh, yeah, I can do that. Okay, there you go. You know, but the message came from her, and that's helping me to become a better communicator. That's helping me to be more focused. That's helping me to understand that just because it's on my head, it doesn't mean I communicated it correctly, and in a way that we can address it and come to an agreement. And same thing with our partners, or soon to be ex-partners, if we're in the same roof. Sometimes that can become very confusing. So my last advice that I gave her, was basically try to be happy. In the beginning, you're gonna fake it till you make it. She actually loved that. It's not a point of manipulation. It's a part of, you need to fake it till you make it. You need to be happy. You need to diffuse the energy in the room. If the person comes back to you, it needs to come back to you correct, and you need to be in a correct headspace where you understand that you need to now, okay, figure out what are his needs and his wants, so that, and you can then decide if you want to meet them. And same thing with him, he needs to know what are her needs and wants, and figure out if there's a way, or he wants to even meet them. And that to me is more important than love. And I'm going to make a lot more videos about this topic. because a lot of times, we forget that we are living, in earth and 3D, whatever, our reality is that love is not enough. Sex is not enough. Their sex life is bomb. Well, I told her, you know what? At this point, if you have sex with him, say goodbye to him, have seeing any changes. Because we as women control the sex, men control the relationship status. We control access to our sexuality. Men is not just gonna, a husband or spouse or boyfriend or whatever, it's not just gonna come and rape us because they want sex, right? There are boundaries and they understand to respect them for the most part. So in that case, women control the sex, and then men control the relationship, the commitment. They control the level of commitment that they're going to put in, the kind of work they're going to put in the relationship. So we, in order to do that, we just cannot be um, handing out sex like, here, here's a candy lollipop, come into my van, and let's get busy, and then expect for changes to come. I'm not saying to use it as a weapon. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that if they go back to normal, whatever normal is, and sex is part of it, without having the conversation, the tough conversations, without truly putting down your walls and opening your heart and saying, this is what I need, without fear of being rejected. And if he rejects, her needs and says, I cannot give you that, then it's okay to say goodbye. And, okay, I understand now, and I thank you for your time. And know that God will send somebody else to you, either to test you if you did indeed learn your lesson, or it would be the person that is ready to meet, your wants and needs, and you can meet his wants and needs, and then you guys can, and don't, I know I'm saying him and her, but this could be her and her, him and him. There's no gender in relationships, not anymore. But so those are the lessons. And so this was a very, very special call that I had with my client, and we're going to be, I'm going to be touching base with her in a few days to see how she's doing, and we'll talk again. And so if you want to have some kind of conversation like that with me, and have, maybe, I don't even know what my title is at this point. I just want to, like, a healing relationship healer, where I can help you heal your past, and and help you, maybe even heal the relationship. This relationship may work for all we know, as long as she puts her guard down, and as long as she gets happy. The point is this: our job is to be happy, period. With him, with her, without him, without her. Our job is to be happy. Okay? Their job is to be happy. So our job is to see, okay, I need to be happy with or without that person. And sometimes we become so codependent. And that's a whole different video that I'm going to make about codependency. But when you become codependent and you're only happy when things are good between you guys, that's a problem. That's not healthy. Because then when things come down and there's an issue, you're going to bring your energy down. You're going to, you know, and it's going to become toxic for both of you, instead of understanding that we're in earth because we have a purpose. There's a higher purpose for all of us. Maybe you know yours, maybe you don't know yours, maybe this person is in your life to understand yourself better. So with that said, this is the end of my video. I thank you so much for watching. I love you. Please comment down below. Let me know if there's any other video. If you want me to make a video about a question, something you want me to address, my email is down below. If you want to work with me, my email is down below as well. Mwah. Yeah, I hope you have a great day, and thank you for watching.